everybody. It's a glorious day here in Colorado. The sun's shining. I think I looked in my pickup truck as I was driving here, and it's about 83 degrees. Trees are leafing out. The grass is getting green, and kind of feels like things are coming back to life. And you bring that and couple it with really businesses getting back up and going, and it truly gives us a reason to celebrate and a reason for hope. I'm Kevin Ross. Thanks for joining me again this afternoon. It's always fun to come speak with everybody and interact with you guys, and I've really enjoyed these sessions that we've had here the last 4 weeks. It's been fun, and I look forward to continuing them, and I'll give it a minute here as people are getting on to the service, but we'll talk about a few things. So while we're waiting for people to log on, I always kind of like to talk about some fun stuff, and I'll go back to my hair again like I always seem to do, but what are your thoughts? Let's take a simple poll here on Facebook and tell me, should I continue to grow my hair through the primary and get the closer to Bob Ross look that I envisioned I would have, or do I go ahead and try and find a barber and get a haircut here in the upcoming days since they're able to get back to work? I'm torn on this one. Part of me is a challenge. I don't normally keep my hair long. I like to keep it high and tight, as they refer to it, but maybe we should try something different and have some fun with the public, and so I'll take your input and we'll let it go from there. So Sherry's just handing it to me here real quick. Remember, I showed this here about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. There's our picture of Bob Ross. If you guys can see that, I'll get it as close as I can. But we're good, Sherry. I don't think I'm going to quite get to Bob's level. He is epic and has some mad skills when it comes to painting. He puts... I'm getting a lot of no's. I'm getting some no's coming in, but... we could paint a happy little tree or get a happy little haircut, maybe in the theme of Bob Ross as we get going on that. So we're going to talk about a few different things today. We've had a lot of questions this week as we get opened back up. How's the campaign going? People want to know really what we're doing during this time, what we've been doing the last 50 days since we got into lockdown for COVID-19, and what are we going to be doing going forward? Well, we haven't stopped. I want to let you know that. We've still been continuing to have Skype meetings with people, reaching out via phone call and touching base with people. The campaign's going strong. Really, we've got a lot of momentum going here in Weld County, and I think momentum's going to be kind of the word of the day today, and I'll go into that here in a little bit. But we're doing a lot of great things. We're still fundraising, so if you feel encouraged to do so, every little bit helps, whether it's $5, $10, that buys a yard sign for us to put up during this campaign. If you can go a little more and you can go $100 or $200, then we can get a 4x8 sign and get that up across the county. And if you want to go even more, you help us out with our social media advertising that we're looking for and really rolling out there. And so we're excited to be getting that going. Campaigning's changed a lot here. Everything we thought we had laid out and mapped out, when you go into a campaign, you itemize and you're like, okay, on this date we'll start this, and on this date we'll start that. I'm kind of an organized guy. I like to be that way, and that way you hold yourself accountable and you have a roadmap for where you want to go. Well, darn COVID-19, because it's changed everything, right? It's changed how we interact with people. It's changed what people feel comfortable with. Maybe we don't feel comfortable knocking on doors. It's kind of invading people's privacy. Obviously, we can't do the big groups right now where we were having big events and bringing people together, which really, it excites me. I thrive on that. The questions, the comments, the interaction with you guys out there keeps my fuel going, and it's just that fire inside of me that gets me excited and really keeps me encouraged to keep up this fight for Weld County. So we're doing good, but sending out some emails. You should be getting updates. If you guys want signs, if you want a yard sign, send us a note, even on Facebook right now. We'll make a note of it, and we'll get you that sign. Sherry's nodding her head. Kelly's nodding her head. We've got an army out there, and they are willing to get you those signs, as am I. So it's kind of exciting. So let us know. Let us know. A couple things I wanted to talk about. Everybody goes, what's a day in the life of county commissioner look like? That's a great question. there's a lot of moving parts inside of it. And I think it's more so than just a day. Let's talk about a week in a county commissioner's life, because it's pretty laid out, it's pretty organized, it's regimented, and let's go through it. So Monday mornings, I like to get to the office about 7:30. I don't know. I like to get paperwork caught up and emails caught up and make sure I'm laid out for the day as far as what we're going to be doing. I get in some phone calls to our director of finance, Don Ward, and I may slip down the hall and talk to our legal team just to get briefed on anything that we need to know, and talk with our PIO. At 9 o'clock sharp on Mondays, we have our regularly scheduled board meeting. And these go pretty fast. This is where we take care of the business details of the county. So we'll approve warrants, which, if you're not familiar with what a warrant is, it's essentially the bills for the county. As a county commissioner, we're responsible with the administration of the county. So we're responsible with keeping an eye on the finances, and really the buck stops with us. And so we have to keep careful mind on that. When we go through that board meeting, we'll approve new expenditures, we'll approve new programs such as, say, road maintenance, new purchases for the county, all of that stuff. We go through it. And we also do declarations and proclamations as well during that time. Right now, the county's been closed to public coming into our offices, but that's now opened up coming Monday morning. So I'm excited to see the public be able to come back into there. You may notice things are a little different if you do happen to come in. All of our chairs are spaced 6 feet apart because we're practicing that social distancing that we are encouraging everyone else to consider. And if you come in our lobby, you'll notice on the floor we got some awesome little sticky notes on the floor. They're not sticky notes like you're used to, those little 3x3 sticky notes, right? But these are big round decals on the floor showing you what 6 feet looks like, and encourage you to consider that when you come into the county. But there's a time for public comment during that meeting, and usually those don't last too long. After we get out of those board meetings on Mondays, then we go directly into work sessions. And we have work sessions with everybody. And when I mean everybody, if we have somebody come into the county and say they want us to consider something, we have a work session on that. And we bring in the interested parties so that we have discussion. And we as board members can ask those others pertinent information about it. Some of these are done via phone call. Some of them are done in person. We have our teams come in, our department chairs. If it relates to a certain department, we make sure they're there so that we can consult with them. The only way you make a real good decision is if you are getting good questions, you're getting good feedback, and you have all the players at the table, and you're able to look at all sides of everything. And I always encourage that, because I think it makes me better as a leader in that room to consider all sides in making those decisions. So no true decisions, though, get made in work sessions. Those can only be made during those board meetings. Let's get to Tuesdays. Tuesdays tend to be our department head meetings. So I'm in a unique position, being recently appointed to county commissioner. I'm actually attending every department head meeting, and I'm doing it on a rotational basis. This is not normal. Typically, the commissioners break up all the departments. So my other 4 fellow commissioners are just in charge of 3 or 4 departments, and they report back to us as a board what's going on. Well, me coming in late to the year, I said, I think it's important I'm involved in every department. I want to know what's going on at every level so that I can bring my education and comfortableness up and really understand what we're talking about. It really puts me in a unique position, and I'm excited about it. I'm building relationships with all of our department chairs. I'm finding the ins and outs of them. And I really think in order to help them make decisions and guide them, I'm getting a great perspective of the overall county at the same time, maybe even more so than others, to where I'm seeing that whole big picture. And I can figure out how those pieces get put together. And I'm excited about that. I've said it on here before, and I'll say it again. We have amazing people working for us at Weld County. We truly have that Weld strong mentality, but it's because of our team. They truly are amazing. Wednesdays, again, we get back. We have a board meeting at 9 o'clock. Same format as that we had on Monday. Once that adjourns, though, we have at 10 a.m., those are our land use hearings. So we have USRs, those are called use by special review, and that's when someone wants to change the use of their land, and it might fall into a different category, maybe moving it from ag to commercial or residential. You may have heard of the RE process, the recorded exemption process. And that is where really an RE is where we start putting houses on, farm ground. So that maybe it's a corner of a pivot that a farmer can't farm and they want to put a new house up there. That's when we hear these. And these are great because it's also another opportunity for the public to give comment and feedback. And we as county commissioners look at it. We look at the code that we have established, the statutes that we have established, see if it fits, and see if the steps that the landowner is proposing really congeal with the area around it to make sure it's a best fit scenario. Later in the afternoon that day, we'll have more work sessions. And then Thursdays and Fridays are really full of work sessions. And they're also our opportunity as county commissioners to get out into the county and really chat with you, the constituents, and get feedback from you. It's our opportunity to get involved. COVID's kind of put a damper on that here lately. We haven't been able to get out and do that, and we've been respecting that. But what we are doing on Monday, I think, is kind of unique. We're going to be doing a telephone town hall where you'll have an opportunity to call in or listen in. You can present questions to us. We're going to give you a state of the county address and let you know what we've been working on. So something we would have been doing the last 2 months, but we haven't had that opportunity, and we haven't gotten that opportunity from you to get that feedback. So I'm excited about that event on Monday, and we're looking forward to it. So right now, we've got a lot of momentum. As county commissioner, I can't tell you how important it is that this fight we've got here in Weld County, we don't let up. Right now, we have the momentum. We are digging in as commissioners. I myself have dug in, and we are taking that fight back. We are not going to play second fiddle to anybody in the state. And what you're seeing, when we learned how the CARE funding was working, I let you guys know, and I can't applaud you enough for how you reached out to your state legislators and the governor, and now we've gotten a voice on the CARE funding so that we get equal funding back to the counties, regardless of our size, and we can backfill the costs that we've incurred during this COVID-19 pandemic. That's due to you, but we're taking that fight to them. My feet are dug in. We are not crossing that. We are not going to back up. We are not going to give up ground because we don't have that opportunity to give up inches. If we give up inches right now, we lose this battle. It's not just about COVID-19, friends. This is about our way of life here in Weld County. This is about agriculture. This is about oil and gas. This is about the small business owner. This is about the large business owner. Weld County has that mentality of we put our boots on and we get to work. We're proud people. We understand the value of hard work because we're just brought up in it. I think it's that background in agriculture that many of us have. Well, we're taking that same mentality and we're delivering it at the county commissioner level. It's exciting because I think we're able to communicate our message. We've been having weekly calls with our mayors from around the entire county, all 32 municipalities, speaking with them, sharing with them what we're working on, getting feedback from them so that we understand the issues in each different municipality. We have 32 of them. That's a lot. When I was on the phone call with Governor Polis last Friday night, I said, you're lumping Weld County into one big pool, but we're 4,000 square miles and 32 municipalities. We have very unique regions in this county. We have very unique needs from different municipalities, and we aren't going to give that up. You have to recognize that. So one of the other things we're working on, and this is something where we've talked with our municipalities, something I've talked with our school districts on, is a way to delay the date for property taxes. I told you our initial plan got basically vetoed by the governor. He said we misinterpreted his order. Well, we've been working with the state treasurer and finding out a way if we can still bring that benefit forward to Weld County residents and Weld County business owners. We're working tirelessly on this as well. I've been reaching out to all the area, and we are talking about, okay, what if the county is in a position to help out those school districts and possibly lend them money while we're waiting for those taxes to come in, those property taxes to come in, so that the school districts don't feel that burden and maybe feel like they aren't able to pay their teachers or default on that. So we're working through that right now. State treasurer is real interested in what we're doing, and it looks like we're going to have some potential legislation brought forth once the session opens up back in Denver. So I'm excited about that. Still a work in progress, but we're going to keep moving on that and keep pushing forward there. Again, Weld County's opening back up. All our lobbies are open on Monday. You will see some social distancing cues in there as far as those 6-foot setbacks. And it's not just in the lobby. It's all throughout our places of work. We're spacing employees out as they come back, making sure there's proper spacing, doing our part to continue to prevent the transmission of this nasty virus. So I'm excited that businesses are opening back up. All my friends are calling me going, it's time, we're ready. And it's just going to have to be in a thoughtful and a respectful manner. I don't think anybody's opening up as we look at what the governor's orders are for us and the guidelines that Weld County set forth if people choose to open up. But we're not going to be full bore, right? It's going to be slow, and people aren't comfortable going out yet. So I think it's going to take some time. I'm excited to see how that unfolds, but I have confidence in the Weld County residents and business owners that they'll be mindful and follow guidelines and figure out how to make this happen. We're really displaying the American just ingenuity and sense of pride here, and so I'm excited about that. And it's individual choice here. And I talk about that because I don't know if anyone's following President Trump. I know I sure do. What a great president, and it's the president we need at this time. And I always say God puts those in front of us that we need in leadership roles at the right time. Trump announced today is the day of law in the state, in the country. And that's so unique that he said something like that on today's May Day. Day of law. What does that mean? Well, we have a lot of laws in this land. And really what we have to get to, and there's a huge cry out there in the community that many feel like we have two sets of laws in this country. Somewhat of a banana public. Different sets of laws for those with means and different sets of laws with those that don't have means. And that can't be. The thing that makes this country great is that there's one set of laws. One set of principles that we go forward with and that we're all held accountable to. If there's different sets of laws for different individuals, then we're no better than any other country out there. And I don't think that's the case. I think we are the greatest country in this world. We have such great potential and possibility. And you think of the economic system we have, and we have capitalism in our hands, and how many people that's rose up from the ashes of poverty. Never before in the history of man have we seen really wealth built like it's been built in this country, and the opportunity for anybody to go out and make it. All they need is a simple idea and a lot of hard work, and dreams can come true. And you know what? When I look at Donald Trump and him saying today is the day of law, what he's saying is that law is applicable to all of us. But it's important that we understand those laws that are out there. That responsibility falls on our shoulders as constituents, as citizens of this great country, to make sure we know how those laws affect us. Are you doing your part? Are you studying up on that? I'm sure you are. You're probably watching this and you're one of those engaged individuals. Share with your friends, though. Talk to them about this. This is those dinner conversations that we need to get back to, right, and challenge each other on so that we continue to let this country just excel. And we're going to need it now more than ever because the brakes got put on a Ferrari and it just got brought to a screeching halt. But I have every confidence in us that we can get this Ferrari started back up, headed down the road, and screaming again at about 200 miles an hour, just like it was here about 3 months ago. So with that, I think we had a couple questions come in. I'm on a rant, so I apologize, everybody. But Sherry, she's giving me the finger over here, and I don't mean the one finger you guys are thinking of, right? But she's got a finger up saying, pay attention to me, I've got a question.
Well, Courtney's got a question. She wants to know, what are you doing about the budget? Has the county made cuts? How is the Board of County Commissioners handling adapting the budget?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. So what we're doing right now is this is our early session for budgets. We call this our budget call. And Don Warden is meeting with all the department heads, and we're looking at a 10% reduction across the board, if not more. But we're challenging our departments to figure out where they can make cuts in their budgets without furloughing employees. I'm proud to say I don't believe we're going to have to furlough any employees. Weld County's always ran tight. We've ran a tight ship, and I promise to continue that mentality forth, and that's what we're doing. I've actually continue with Don Warden and meeting with him on a weekly basis, and we are debriefing on how those budgets are looking and looking at what the market factors are so that we are positioned, again, not only for 2020, not only for 2021, as that's the budget we're putting together right now, but we have to put this in conjunction with multiple years. So we're looking at 2021, 2022, and 2023, because we'll see that decrease in property values that hits us after 2 years, and that's where we see our revenue stream as a county. Our revenue stream only comes from property taxes because we're a county with zero sales tax, zero long-term debt, zero short-term debt, and I promise to keep it that way as your Weld County Commissioner, but that takes us sharpening the pencil. So we'll continue to do so. Next question.
So, I think I've got one here from Sharon. She's looking for what's the outlook for oil and gas?
Oh, this industry has just been kicked in the teeth, and my heart, my support goes out to my friends, my family members in the industry, and really the women and men that are in there working day in, day out. You brought us out of the recession. Oil and gas brought us out of the recession in 2008. And you made not only Weld County prosperous, but you made the entire state of Colorado prosperous, and you made the United States of America stand on its own in the energy field. Now here in Colorado, we've probably got as a compilation the strictest set of guidelines and rules to follow for exploring oil and gas. Across the board, I talk to producers daily, getting feedback from them on what are they doing, what's going on, how are they being impacted, is there anything Weld County can do to help? And we're working towards that. And I was listening with Dan Haley yesterday, and he did a presentation on how that was going. Oil and gas will come back. It's going to take time. What the industry needs, though, is certainty. The Colorado rule process, due to Senate Bill 181, is doing anything but giving certainty to the industry. The industry always finds a way to work within the rules, work within the guidelines, and continue forth. Well, governor and the legislature have decided to delay that rulemaking process for SB 181 till early fall of 2020. It was supposed to be going on here this month, but it has been delayed because of the COVID-19 delays that we're all experiencing. Oil and gas will come back. Demand will increase as more people start venturing out of their homes here in the next couple months. And that's not just here in this country, it's across the world. The whole world put the brakes on. Demand is needed. We're pumping. We've filled up all of our storage, but we need some demand to take out of that storage so that we can drive the price up. It's that simple economics of supply versus demand, and you need to have demand be strong in order to drive up the price. It's the same thing that's going on in agriculture right now. So, yeah.
So that's the next question. What's the outlook
Of
for
course it
agriculture?
is. Of course, right? Which it should be. It should be. The next question is, how's the outlook for agriculture? The outlook right now is tough. Many producers are culling their herds in the hog operations. I'm hearing reports and seeing reports of many of them aborting pig fetuses so that they don't glut the system, because with closing down the processing plants for these, whether it's beef producers, hog producers, chicken producers, what we've done is we've put a backlog on the producers themselves being able to bring their animals to market and have them slaughtered and produced. Well, it's a scary time. The farmer's looking at the market, the rancher's looking at the market and going, we've been through this before. We know what we have to do. And they get punched in the jaw, right? But they always come back because they're so strong. But they're having some hard times right now. Dairy industry's getting beat up. Again, it comes back to that demand. We have to be able to get to a point where people feel comfortable going to a restaurant, where it's safe to go to a restaurant. We're a society that's built on a lot of really excess spending and needs, right? We go to a restaurant, you got a big dollop of butter there on your plate. You got a big steak or a cheeseburger, a fillet of chicken or fish there in front of you. And, you know, it's that really award we present ourselves, and we've been missing out on that right now. The market's missing out on it. Demand will come back. It's happening to our crop producers. Price of corn, wheat, all of our commodities, onions, they're bottoms. They're 30-year lows. But the price hasn't changed to produce it. And then you have the delivery stream, right, of getting those vegetables, getting those crops, getting those animals to market. That's been interrupted because the trucking industry is doing an amazing job right now keeping up, but there's only so many of them, and everything's been impacted right now. But it brings me back to what I said earlier, right? We have that fight. We're going to bring the momentum back, and I really have faith in American ingenuity that while things are tough right now, and they're tough for everybody, everybody's feeling this. I'm feeling it, you're feeling it, but we'll come back. We'll be stronger than ever. I have that confidence, and I know what it takes right now is good leadership. It takes people that have the courage to stand up and fight that fight and understand how those impacts affect all Americans, especially here in Weld County. That's what I promise to keep delivering to you. And so with that, I think we are done, and I want to say thank you. It's Friday, May 1st. You guys go out, have a great day. Hopefully you get to have a beverage of choice and enjoy your family still, but enjoy the nice weather. It's always a pleasure being with you. Talk to you next Friday.